Today on the table I have the SIG P320 and the Ruger Security 9. You will see a price split of about $207 currently, the SIG being about $207 more than the Ruger. The Ruger is a lighter firearm. Unfortunately, this isn't the compact SIG, which I wish we had because it would make a much better comparison because the capacity and everything's the same. But even with the compact version, the Ruger is still lighter. The Ruger is still shorter even with the compact version. This is over an inch longer, and it doesn't take off a full inch when you go with the 3.9 barrel over the 4.7 barrel. Height, I think this is where it would actually make a difference. The SIG P320, the full-length one, is a taller firearm, but this comes with a 17-round capacity. The Ruger's only a 15-round capacity, where the compact SIG is a 15-round capacity, so I'm pretty sure the height will be damn similar. Trigger brake. Ruger Security 9. Brake's pretty good. I mean, it's nothing that like totally blows my socks off, but yeah, not bad at all. P320. Doesn't break bad at all either. I think it actually breaks slightly better than the Ruger. Now you have to understand though, this hasn't been recalled, and what I'm being told is that when you do recall it, the trigger brake drastically gets reduced. Kind of sucks after that. Here's your reset. Kind of long, not too bad though. I mean, not bad at all actually. And then your brake. Ruger. A little bit longer than the SIG, not much though. And then there's your brake. The SIG does feel like a lighter trigger. Both firearms do have accessory rails. Now this particular Ruger has a laser sight, which basically makes the accessory rail useless. But you can order these without a laser sight, and then you'll be able to use the accessory rail. Sights, the SIG does have superior sights. 3-dot system, and they are night sights. Now you can order these without night sights. It's kind of your choice. For me, a combat pistol anyway pretty much needs to have night sights. But unfortunately, they made them all the same color. And I'd rather have a different color up front than the rear, so in the dark, I don't accidentally misalign my dots. So it's up to you. I mean, you could always order the one without night sights and then just add night sights and have the proper coloration, but, you know, I mean, it really don't matter. It's better than not having night sights. Magazine release. The Ruger, the button's a little small and it's pretty far forward. I can get it with my normal shooting position, but it is difficult. Magazine going in and out, very free. Gets hung up right here for a second, but then you cruise right past it. SIG. About the same as the Ruger. This button should be a little bit back more, or a little bit fatter. Or maybe if they didn't put this huge fat grip on it. Let's see. As you can see, like, the grip bows out and it makes it uncomfortable. The Ruger's nice and flush. The Ruger feels far better in my hands than the SIG. I just feel like I can't get a full grip on it. Like, it's too big and too bulky. Magazine going in. It gets sticky right about there, and it stays sticky the whole way, all the way in. But it does click in very positively. Your slide release and the mag is cut ambidextrous, but the button is only on one side, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to switch this over. If you can't, because I'll look it up after the video, I'll annotate it in. Ruger, this is for right-handed people only. So, if you're all left because you're just not right, you're kind of screwed. This gun isn't going to work for you. The Ruger, the rear sight, has a buildup on it, so you couldn't hook it on anything and rack it if you needed to. The SIG, you totally could. Nice and flat, you could put this on your body and rack it without a problem. When you purchase the firearms, the Ruger, you're going to get two 15-round magazines, a trigger lock, owner's manual, and a cardboard box. With the SIG, depending on which one you get, you'll get two magazines. This particular one, you get two 17-round magazines, a holster, and a very nice hard case. The overall look of the firearms, the Ruger just kind of comes off as cheap. The way the slide serrations are cut, the trigger, how that safety bar is skeletonized, it's plastic. Just the overall look of it, it screams budget oriented. Now the SIG, on the other hand, the finish looks awesome, very rugged looking. The slide serrations, just crazy cool. I mean, just holding this firearm, I feel like I could take on Liquid Snake and his whole band of merry henchmen with one-hit Modern Warfare melee kills. You also get a sticker, owner's manual, gun lock, and this isn't some crappy hard case. It actually hinges in the back, and it's got sliders in the front. It's also got a spot where you can lock this down. So that will absorb some of that $200 split. The whole thing, maybe 75 bucks, but still. So even if you were to take this out of the equation and then take away the money, this is still drastically more expensive than the Ruger. Now, what would I pick? The SIG P320 or the Ruger Security 9? Well, the Ruger Security 9, like I said, it just comes off as cheaper. The takedown's also much harder. You gotta pull this pin out, where the SIG 320, it's got a slide lever. It doesn't have a shelf on your back sight to be able to hook on your clothing. It doesn't go ambi. It doesn't come with night sights. Oh, and the SIG, you can also order a safety. The Ruger safety, impossible to put on with your normal shooting position, so you'd have to spin it like this, possibly sweeping anyone on your side, or use your other finger. Coming off though, very nice. But now the Ruger is a lighter firearm. It's also drastically cheaper. It's also backed by Ruger's customer service, which I've had personal experience with, is grade A. Some of the best customer service I dealt with. They're right up there with Mossberg. I've never dealt with SIG's customer service. I'm assuming it's decent. All major manufacturers that I've ran into have been, except for FN. Now, like, if you're going to look at it politically, Ruger's not been the best politically. They were a part of the 93 band, I believe it was, where SIG, they actually lost a guy. He got fired fighting for our rights. He was just pushing firearms to the absolute limit of what the ATF would allow. Finally, they're like, no. And he had to resign from his job. If that political stuff matters to you, without a doubt, the SIG. If customer service and price matters to you, without a doubt, the Security 9. Me personally, I would probably actually lean towards the SIG. Just because this is too big for me to carry. I just couldn't do it. I mean, I struggle carrying my cell phone. That annoys the crap out of me. If you noticed my earlier videos, I had a bracelet my girl got me. It got hooked on something and broke. I just can't stand things on my body. I'll deal with a firearm, but it needs to be small. Completely unfeasible for me. So this will put this into like a tack vest gun, a nightstand gun, or like just a straight up like combat gun. I personally feel the SIG fulfills that role better. It seems to have a more durable finish, the night sights, the shelf on the back sight, how it's all put together, the ambi controls, the steel trigger. Now the SIG, this does have a trigger unit. That's the actual firearm, so you could order different SIGs and then just drop the trigger unit in while you're waiting for your other trigger unit to clear if you're in a real restrictive state. So you get to shoot the firearm right away, but really, like, the laws are catching up with this, so it's kind of almost useless now. So that's not really a selling point for me anymore. But again, like I said, the way this firearm's set up, it's got the hard case, the holster, I would actually go with the SIG. But leave in the comments below which one you would pick and why. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.